welcome back, SnowRunners. So, if you guys remember in the last video, we recovered and now own the white Western Star. Well, I took it in the garage, and as promised, I dressed it up, and as promised, I'm going to show you what I did with it. It's sitting right next to our other emergency truck. I'm going to call these my emergency trucks. Sitting right next to my other emergency truck, our Cat fuel truck. Well, here she is in all her glory. I did make a utility truck out of her. I put the van body, painted the cab brown because green didn't look good on the cab to me. The brown gave it a more ominous look, along with a large, just a hell of a snorkel. Gave it a gaping exhaust, like the smokestack coming out of this thing looks like it belongs on the damn industrial building. Let's see here. When you get her, she's two-wheel drive, open differential, all that bullshit. Well, she's got lifted suspension, large off-road tires. She's all-wheel drive converted. She's got locking differentials. I put lights everywhere because, hey, if it's going to be a rescue truck, it's got to see what it's doing, right? So I think these two make quite a pair. I think we get the Caterpillar locking differential, not all-wheel drive. I think if we get the Caterpillar all-wheel drive, these are going to be quite a pair of trucks to go out and perform rescues with. And I figure what better thing to do in our first video as the owner of this bad boy other than go ahead and do that repair the truck mission that's been hanging out in the corner of our screen for like 2 weeks. So we're going to go ahead and take this bad boy down here. All the way down. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's way further down than even I thought. It's way down here. I almost want to go cross the swamp with it instead. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to cross the swamp and go repair the truck. So I don't need the GPS to tell me how to do that. We're just going to go for it. So we're going to, even though repair the truck is not next on our available list, as far as the way they're listed. Oh, actually, yeah, it is. So, yeah, we're doing repair the truck either way. We would have been doing it next with or without this newly modified truck here. We'll start off in this, and let's go for our maiden voyage. I hope we don't need fuel. That's going to suck if we need fuel. And I didn't bring any. I only brought repair truck. But I don't think we need fuel. I think we're good. We're going to start out traveling kind of slow, but I think we're actually going to kick it up into high gear. Man, this thing gets really good fuel mileage. Look at that. 3 liters per minute, and it's in high gear. Oh, this is going to be nice, and it's got a big tank, 300-liter tank. Of course, we're on paved road. The 3 liters per minute, we are on a paved road, and now we're headed downhill. But that's already impressive to me. I like it. I think we chose quite well. Making this a rescue truck is going to be a good idea, because if it gets good fuel economy, then that means wherever something gets stranded, this thing ought to be able to make it out to it. With a large tank and good economy to boot, we won't have to rely on the Caterpillar's ability to follow this truck into a place where you need 6-wheel drive, for example. We won't have to worry about the Caterpillar's ability to follow this truck. We're just gonna rock this shit, I like it. I'm totally down with this. I like this. And I'm hoping it's sure-footed off-road. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know, I just get the feeling that this thing's gonna be a beast when it gets in the mud, so I don't know. But like, I guess it reminds me a lot of the Fleet Star, just like bigger. And because it reminds me a lot of the Fleet Star, I feel like it's going to do good off-road, if that makes any sense. Because the Fleet Star has done me so well off-road. But I also anticipate with this big box on that it's going to be a little top heavy. So we got to be mindful of that, I'm sure. Yeah, even going uphill a little bit there, we were getting 2.8 to 3 liters a minute on this paved road. It jumps up to about 5 in the dirt there. I think this is going to be a useful rig. May have to buy another one of these. You know, I was talking about possibly using this as a tow truck, a tow pig for a low saddle. May have to get me another one of these and set it up to use for that same purpose. With the economy at least. Let's see how durable it is. Let's see how good it does once we get off the paved roads before we decide that we're going to blow the money on another one. Because I think to buy one of these is like 80 grand or some shit. It's probably not cheap. Oh, I put the off-road gearbox in it too, as you can already see with your eyes without me telling you that. I put the off-road gearbox in it too, because if it's going to be a rescue truck, it needs to be able to go off-road, right? I mean, that kind of goes without saying. If it's going to be a rescue truck, it needs the functionality, I should say, of the off-road gearbox. I can't imagine making a rescue truck and leaving the stock gearbox in it. That would be kind of asinine. Oh shit! I didn't even realize that was there. It just plowed right the heck through it. All right, we're gonna dip down into the quarry. And when we dip down into the quarry, we're going to slow down a little bit, even though obviously it feels like we're barely moving anyway, and I hate when it does that. That's one glitch that I really hope that they get worked out in an update, where the engine cuts off all the time. Alright, we're going to stop here for a moment. We're going to downgrade to a lower gear. Let's take it all the way to this one, because I really don't want to tip over inside the rough roads here in the quarry, because they are kind of rough right here. I don't want to be moving too fast and flip over, because what do you do if you flip your rescue truck, you know? Leave it forever, I guess. Oh yeah, speaking of leaving it forever, I just remember we got a P16 that's in dire need of help. Remember that crap? I sunk it in the river over in Drummond. I completely forgot about that little whoops that I did. We're at some point going to have to buy something big enough to go get that thing out. But we're going to need a heavy crane to do that. I don't think there's any other way we're going to save that without a heavy crane. I'm going to go nice and slow, because this thing does feel top heavy. Lock the diff. Oh yeah, that was super good. When I locked that diff, it was just like immediately I'm ready to go. Alright, the fuel consumption's a little higher now because we're in low range, but it's still bearable. I mean, that's still, given the size of the tank on this thing, that's a very bearable consumption rate right there. To leave this locked and take her slow and steady. Our job is to go down here and repair a truck, not come halfway over here and flip a truck. Once we get to the swamp, my concern will completely go away, because the swamp is just like super flat. If you flip something over in the swamp, I don't even know what to tell you. But flipping something over on the way to the swamp, I could see happening, because you do have a lot of hilly terrain over here. So one thing I've noticed about Smithville, the whole damn map is just hills everywhere. It's very difficult to travel around Smithville in a top-heavy vehicle, because the whole map is just leans and hills and twists, and the truck will lean left and then just suddenly lean right, and dips everywhere. It's very easy to flip over on map, that's for sure. But flat ground now, so all we got to do now is cross the swamp and then make our way over to the truck. I'm kind of glad we did the mission together to acquire this truck when we did, because it probably would have ended up as a fuel rig had we not. Had I not already had a fuel truck, this probably would have ended up as a fuel rig, and I don't know, I like the way this thing looks as a repair rig, honestly. But had we not already had a fuel truck, this would have ended up as a fuel truck, because that's what we needed, you know, was a fuel truck. And now that we have a fuel and repair truck, I'm not going to focus very much on bringing the trucks back to the garage after every job. I think they're just going to sit where they sit after a job. We'll find somewhere nice near the completion point to park them. You know, park them at a lumber mill or park them at a warehouse or something. We'll find something close by to park them at, but I'm not going to worry about bringing the trucks back to the garage at the end of every job. I think not only does that kill a lot of time, it's not necessary, because we're about to be in maps that don't have a garage anyway. And what are we going to do? Do a job in Drummond Island and then spend 45 minutes driving back to the garage after each job? No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to start leaving the trucks in a reasonable spot. I mean, you know, maybe they need to go back to the garage to get fueled up, or maybe they need to go back to the garage to get something. Or if a job ends close to the garage, sure, we'll take them back to the garage and park them. But I think for the most part, we're just going to start leaving our trucks within reason somewhere close by where they finished their last job. And like I say, now that we have a fuel truck, not as much the repair truck, I mean, it'll come in handy too, but definitely the fuel truck. Now that we have a fuel truck, I won't mind leaving the trucks out in the field so much, because the fuel truck can come to them. Previously, I pretty much had to bring the trucks back to the garage after each job, because the garage is where we were getting our fuel. You know, we got our fuel tanker sitting at the garage, so the garage is where we were getting our fuel from. But now that we have a fuel truck, that's not necessary. If we're out on a job and we run out of fuel, we just send the fuel truck, you know. Or if we're out on a job and we damage an engine, we send this guy right here to go take care of it. I haven't even kicked this in 6-wheel drive once yet. We're almost through the swamp already. We're already past the halfway point. I consider that house back here to be the halfway point of the travel through the swamp. To me, that house seems like it's about the halfway point, you know. But this half of the swamp is also the worst half of the swamp. It's harder to travel through this half. So we still might kick it in 6-wheel drive at some point to get through here. Might be right now, actually, because we're starting to, yeah. Alright, let's do it. You know, even in 6-wheel drive, we're peaking out at about 10 liters per minute peak. and averaging around 9. See what it does when we get down in a bad spot here. 9, 10, oh, we tapped 11. So we peaked out at 11, oh, 12. I guess when I gave her a little more throttle, she jumped up to 12. I gave her a little more throttle, and she said, "I'm thirsty." But, I mean, point being, even in 6-wheel drive, this thing ain't using that much fuel, because I think the Navistar in 6-wheel drive on decent terrain, not paved roads, but decent terrain, I think it sucks down like 12 or 13 on good roads. So this thing peaking out at 12 in the middle of the damn swamp in 6-wheel drive, I'll take that. Well, I will say this thing travels through the swamp better than anything else that we've used so far, including our scout vehicles. Even none of our scout vehicles have done that good traveling through the swamp. Yeah, I better leave it in 6-wheel because it's a little tough spot right here, it seems like. There we go. Kick her back in regular rear wheel. Alright, it should be up here somewhere. I think we got to pass the road to the tunnel first, which I think that's still coming up. Then once we pass the road to the tunnel, it's just up here somewhere. I'm not going to bother consulting the map because there's only one damn road, and it's on the road, it's not off the road. So I'm just going to drive till we see it. I think that road goes up and over the that island in the middle. Yep, there's the road to the tunnel, because there's a sign that says tunnel. There's the wolf everybody likes to say, "What the hell?" And then it's gone. I see pictures of that wolf in the Facebook group all the time. Has anybody else ever seen this? I guess there are 2 roads. Well, I'm going to take the one to the left, I guess. I didn't realize there were 2 roads down here. I think I'm going to take the one to the right because, man, I don't know. I said I wasn't going to look at the map, but now I'm going to. Oh. Wait, what? There's not. There is, but there's not. Yeah, there is. Right there, they split. Well, then what the hell is that I'm looking at right there? That's not even a damn road on the map. Like, it literally just goes right here and dead ends. Okay. But when we do get to another split, I need to hang either direction, actually. Because they just come right back together directly in front of the truck that we're going to fix. Now here's the split right here. That's a hell of a water hole right there. I'm gonna go around it. That's a hell of a deep water hole, so I'm gonna go around it. It looks muddy as hell. Well, that was a bad idea now, wasn't it? Oh, it goes this way. Well, shit. I avoided a water hole to go in another one. That was stupid. Oh well. It's more entertaining. That's what it is. took the wrong path. Well, I see the truck up ahead of us though, so I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. As long as I make it up there. I guess that's one way to do it. Alright. Yeah, repair the truck. We've already activated it. Repair from the van body to the GMC. Well, it don't need everything. I mean, it needs everything, but like its wheels are good, and it's not like zeros down the board. So let's just do all. What does it need? 520 points, and we have 800. There we go, 1,900 bucks and 180 stars. Whoops. Get off that menu. Well, all right. We're going to back it in the driveway over here. I mean, it don't really have a driveway, but right here, well, that's where we're going to park at. That looks like a good parking spot. Like I said, we're going to start just leaving our trucks somewhere where they finish the mission, even though this one really needs to head back north because it's going to have to go refill its repair supplies. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to call this a success. Hell, we actually did a job in under a half an hour. That is a success. So guys, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell so that if you forget to log in tomorrow, it will tell you, hey, check me out, come log in and see what we've done. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And until then, guys, peace out.